What up, everybody? Friday night again, as always. Here we are. And I would like to say before we start the show, you can obviously see that my main man, who is usually next to me, is not next to me today. And our brother, Sean Ahrendt, is going through some personal things. I'll let him explain that when he gets back. But he's going to be off of the show for a little bit until he takes care of some stuff. But I do want to say that, Sean, I'm sure that all of us on here, because a lot of us here are all family, and we've known each other for a long time. So, I personally love you. My prayers and best thoughts to you and your family. And we look forward to having you back as soon as possible. So, but as long as you need, man, as long as you need. But until then, my good friend right here that I just met last week, but I'm going to call him my friend now. Mike McMahon is going to come on and do the co-hosting duties. So how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Metal and metal.
Yeah, that is. Now it's a metal and metal show. That's for sure. So, yeah. Without further ado, well, I guess I'll do my intro. So I'm the very sexy, the very attractive, very distinguished, always narcissistic, but never vain. Joseph Michael Sonntag, or Joe M. Sonntag if you prefer, or as the Pope calls me, JMS. Welcome to the Ott and Stuff Show. I'll try to do my best Sean impersonation. Ott and Stuff Show. Today, I'm extremely excited. We got a guy that I've been following now for maybe a year. I'm not sure, but he's just burst onto the scene lately. And if you were following any of the Indiegogo campaigns, you're following Instagram, Twitter, you've probably seen his art, even if you don't know his name. And this one's for you, Sean. We're about to bring on our guest, Rob motherfucking Willis. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
What's up? How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Doing good.
In the presence of greatness.
Yeah,
no.
definitely
I'm in the presence of greatness. Appreciate you guys having me on, big time.
What's up, Jacob? Yeah, Sean's taking a little bit of a hiatus. He will be back, going through some personal stuff, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yep.
But he will be back.
Deal with my fat face here, sir, for tonight. So,
what's up, Lord Christopher John?
Big Chris.
Beast.
Yeah, Rob is the beast. I'll say that for sure. Man, I'll tell you what, Rob, your art is fantastic.
Makes me want to burn everything I've ever drawn.
No.
Every time I see something, I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
I appreciate
it's insane.
You
are awesome.
You got the kind of art, it's inspiring, which is what I love. I love following artists that have a style that I want to read, and you've got that style. It harkens back to like the 90s image. It's like when I first saw your work, I thought it was very reminiscent of like Stephen Platt. But the cool thing about your work is the more you look at it, the more you can pull out what I assume were influences of yours. And you got like Platt. I can see like some Finch in there, some Dale Keown. Yeah, your stuff is
favorites, man. Yeah, I can't help it. I try to steer away from trying to, look like my work is like kind of mimicking anybody else's. But I guess it's kind of hard to help it sometimes when you've got your favorite artists and they do such a good job at what they do, and you pick up on that, and it's like it's hard to break away. You're like, this is, it just influences you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you see, I don't know, like you were saying, people will inspire you, and those are definitely all the '90s artists inspire me.
Oh yeah.
There aren't too many people in that era that didn't have an effect on my work right now. They definitely all influenced me to want to draw comics. And I pick up on little things here and there that I like to use in my own artwork. So.
And that's what artists do is you pick and choose. I like how this person does eyes. I like how this person does rendering. That's all any of us do is we take all the stuff that we like from different people, and even stuff, you can learn from stuff from people you don't like. Be like, oh, well, I see how he does that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to do not that.
Yeah.
And
it's like art class, It's like a form of like schooling. You know what I mean? Instead of going and learning at a university or something like that, you're picking up on things through to your influences and your favorite artists?
I would say it's, the way a lot of us learn how to draw for the most part is either reading comics or following your favorite artists, and you try to, first of all, you probably try to emulate those guys. At least I know I did when I was younger. I tried to emulate Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld, Dale Keown, all those guys, and eventually that just became my style, because I would just take certain things as my art evolved, and then I could start picking it. When I learned how to actually draw, I could start picking and choosing, kind of like Mike said, like I liked how Silvestri drew faces, or I liked how this person rendered, Finch, did a lot of detail and texture and like all this stuff. And then that just kind of becomes your style. So, I mean, you have a style that's obviously all your own. Like it's cool because it's recognizable. Like right off the bat, it's recognizable when you see it.
It's like a mash, though. It's like a mash of everything. Like I don't know if I call it my own. It's just a combination of everything that I like from other artists. You know what I mean? Like kind of intertwined into something of my own, I guess.
I think the only reason why we bring up how we can see what the influences are is because we're artists. So we follow artists. But to just a fan, your style is a breath of fresh air. It's something they've not seen before. So, I mean, don't ever think that you're not you, because the first time somebody sees Rob Willis, that's you. That's always going to be what they associate with you. So,
I guess it's different looking from the outside. Then, me, I know what I'm thinking about when I draw. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I know where I'm drawing my inspiration from and things like that. So, but that's cool. It's good to hear that people see my work and recognize it as mine. I'm glad. I do try to, be as personally creative as possible when I do my stuff. I don't never like bite off anybody or steal anything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I do got a lot of cool, crazy ideas going through my head all the time. So, it's good to know that it's recognizable as my own. So I appreciate.
Well, it definitely shows. I mean, the first time I saw your art on Instagram, it was I think a piece you had put up from Shinobi Sasquatch, which, by the way, I see that's at up to $75,000 now in the campaign or plus. So congratulations on that. That's awesome.
No, I don't look at the campaign that much. That's good to hear.
Yeah,
but every time I come on a stream, somebody tells me, and then it's always a surprise because it's always a couple weeks out from when I last looked at it. Let me check it out.
Yeah, here it is, right here. 75, 729.
Great. Yeah,
dude,
we're up.
Awesome.
It looks like we'll probably hit 80 before it's all said and done. By the time we fulfill and start shipping, we'll close the campaign down. Hoping we hit 80, which is above the mark of what we anticipated for sure. I was thinking if we were lucky, we would hopefully hit 40.
Oh, jeez.
We did that.
Okay, guys.
I can credit some of that to the fact that it's taken so long for the book to get done. It's a long book. It's going to be a thick book. And I spend a lot of time on the pages. I try to do. I don't know. I try to do my best. I do my best to make every page look as amazing as possible. I'm not like winging it.
Well, you're doing a good job, man.
Yeah, you're doing it.
And that's a good thing about the campaigns is, you have the time to sit back and put your all into a book, which is awesome about these crowdfunded projects, is that if somebody buys this, they know that they're getting a product that's not rushed. It's got a lot of love, time and energy put into it. I mean, so anybody that's watching the stream that's unfamiliar with Rob's art, for one, you shouldn't be, because the dude's badass. But if not, check out Shinobi Sasquatch. It's something that he's been working on for a little while. It's going to be coming out. And this is just a preview here. If you're watching it, some of this art on the Indiegogo page is just fantastic. I can't wait to get this book and read it, man.
Yeah, me either.
And you got Cal writing it. Cal's a great writer. So it's the writing is going to be really good. And you got Paul Billick doing the colors on it.
And the colors are sick.
Paul is amazing, and he's kind of he's like me. Nobody knows who he is yet. I don't think. I mean,
they will.
They should. Yeah. He's really good. I like his style that he colors in. It's almost like it almost. I want to explain it. It's kind of almost like looking at like a computer animated image or something like that, like Pixar or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that kind of color over top of some traditional comic book art, which I think is a really cool combination. I think people are gonna really like it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. And you guys, because of the campaign, you added a bunch of pages too, didn't you? From what I heard.
Like 40, like 30 or 40. Yeah, yeah. Now, lucky for me,
What's up, Elliot?
I think 12 of those pages. Well, you know what? It might not be that many pages. Hold on. Maybe it was like I'm pretty sure it was at least 30 though. I think it's like 30
Wow.
or something like that. Extra pages.
Yeah.
And like 12 of those pages though are going to be if we decided to kind of do something, because some people like pencils. You know what I mean? Some people really like the pencils, and we figured we could use that for. There's like a little backstory at the end, and it goes back to like years and years and years ago. So it's going to be older. It's like a flashback almost on how he became, on how Shinobi Sasquatch became who he is, training with his master and things like that. And those pages are going to be done in black and white and just pencils. But I'm going to go nuts on the pencils. I'm going to keep them. They're going to look really nice. It's not like my pencils before I ink. It's going to be. They're going to be really nice with the pencils. But I don't have to ink it, so that's going to save me a lot of time. And
nice.
I have to color those pages, so we don't have to worry about waiting on the inking and the coloring. Just the lettering, and so those last 12 pages, wrapping everything up, should move along really quick.
That's really cool. And it's funny that you say that you don't that your pencils aren't like when you ink, because I think your pencils before you ink
super tight.
Are really, really super tight. And I'm just like, man, how do you spend so much time making your pencils that tight and then go back and ink it and make it even tighter? Because when I ink myself, my pencils are a lot looser, and then I'll finish it as I ink.
Well,
but
yeah, I keep my I do all my rendering in pencils, but I guess maybe what I should have said is as far as my blacked in areas and things like that, where I don't really worry about leveling it out when I'm going to ink it, because I know it's going to be solid black. On the pencils, you're going to get to see a lot more depth in those areas there.
Gotcha.
See gradation.
I'll get to have a lot of fun with there. And I used to do all pencil work before I got into doing comics. I was drawing like portraits and realism and things like that. So I will still have the comic book cross-hatching and everything in there, but you'll also get to see some actual shade work and things like that.
Nice.
It's going to look really cool, yeah.
So what you're saying is fans are in for a giant treat.
Yeah, you get a little bit of everything. Yeah. And if you get the black and white book to go with it, then, you got the total package. And I'm pushing that for a reason, because we haven't sold that many of the black and white books.
Really?
No, not really. I thought we were, but the black and white, I figured we'd do pretty good because it's got a different cover. I figured people would want to get on that because it's different. It's not like you're buying the same book black and white. I mean, it is, but it's got the variant cover to go with it. And you'll get to see more of the line work, because Paul's colors are so rich. You miss out on some of that line work. He does a good job at not covering any of it, but his colors just draw you in, so you'll miss it. Even though it's there, you'll miss it. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, and maybe it's because I'm coming from an artist point of view, but I love the black and white books or the penciled versions of the books. Like I'm always a big fan of getting the DC Unwrapped series, or like I'm a huge fan. If anybody remembers, Greg Pulo released a issue of Creech #1 in '97. That was a black and white, just him and Danny Mickey.
Yep.
I love that. I mean,
that's
absolutely
a wicked combination right there too.
Oh yeah.
Mickey and Capullo. Yeah. Well, Danny Mickey and inking anybody is really amazing. But
yeah, it's true.
Mickey on Capullo's work, and Capullo always gets some really good inkers, man.
He does. Yeah. He really
his
does.
Pencils are amazing, but they bring his pencils to life, man. So yeah, Creech was badass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm huge in the black and white books, and when I do my own campaign, I think I'm gonna do exactly what you did. I want to do a black and white book, want to do a pencil version, and if they don't sell as good, whatever, that's fine. But I just want to put that out there because I know people like me, I'm a fan of that stuff,
Yeah.
so I will go and get that in a heartbeat.
We did it because we had people asking about it. We didn't really know if anybody really wanted it. We just had about maybe 10, 15 people saying you got to do a black and white one. So we did it.
Yeah,
We might end up taking a hit for it because if we don't, I don't even think we've sold 100 of them yet. So if we don't sell
oh,
100 of them, I think we end up taking a hit. But it's all good, man. It's for the fans. It's for whoever wanted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not gonna hurt us. So.
Yeah. Like I just the Billy Tucci they just put out a pencil. I got that the other day.
A pencil version of the book.
Yeah, and it's got like the word
really?
balloons in it and everything.
Oh wow! No, I haven't even seen that. Or maybe I've seen the post, but I didn't look into it.
I think it's called the rough cut version.
Yeah, the rough cut version.
Yeah, yep, I got that too.
I think I might have seen that earlier.
Because he did the same thing. He's got a black and white version, and he's got a rough cut version. And I think he even has. He was saying on it when he was on our stream on Monday, he was saying that he's got an inker that he works with that actually went over his pencils with pencil and finished his pencils, and they released that version. So it was almost like an inked version, but with pencil, so it kept that pencil quality. So it's basically exactly like the inker would have done with ink, but he just did it with pencil instead. Yeah, and I was looking at some of it they brought up on the stream. It just looked awesome. Like I'd never even heard it like doing that before, and like that was really cool.
It's kind of what like Michael Turner used to do, like just super tight, super dark pencil, and then they would color it.
Yeah, I can't pencil dark like that, man. I got to go with like a medium. If I don't know, for some reason I can't go. I'm not real great with really dark lead.
Speaking of that, I was just gonna say. Speaking of that, what kind of tools do you use as far as like lead, paper? What kind of boards are you drawing on?
I was you're kind of breaking up. Are you breaking up? Can you hear me?
Just a little bit. You're breaking up a little bit, but
yeah,
you got a little bit of a delay.
Up,
kind of breaking up a little bit. We can still hear you though.
Oh,
we've sold 170 as of right now. All right.
Oh, I was way off then.
Yeah, I was just saying it's better than they thought.
Man, sorry. You were saying something. It kind of slipped my mind. Once it hits like 7 o'clock at night, man, I'm on shutdown mode because I'm waking up before the sun comes up right now. So
gotcha.
If I'm a little off, don't mind me too much.
Oh, you're fine. I was just asking like tools of the trade, what you use, like the lead, because I'm always interested in what other artists use for lead, the boards that they use.
I'll show you what I use right now. I'll show you what I'm using. Let me reach over here.
Let me bring you up on the big screen.
Ready for the big reveal?
Oh yeah.
Bam. That's what I'm using right now.
No shit.
Yeah, I got this at CVS. So
that's awesome.
Now I got a bunch of nice pencils and I never use them. They sit up there in their case and I never use them because I got a really nice mechanical pencil that broke on me, and then on my other pencils I got to sharpen them, and I just got lazy. I got tired of sharpening pencils, so I grabbed one of those one day from the CVS when I was up there getting something.
Hey JoJo.
Something else.
Hey JoJo.
Hey JoJo.
Yeah, the. Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, that's what I pencil with.
That's awesome.
Well, I think I got them because I needed some erasers, and I didn't have time to get out to to like Michael's or anything like that, and I didn't want to wait to order them. And I went up there and I got a packet of pencils that had a tube of white erasers, and I just ended up using the pencil. And I was like, all right, you know what, I'm just gonna stick with this. As far as inking goes, I stopped using my Copics. I don't break them out much unless I'm doing like straight lines, like outlining boxes or something like that. Maybe I need to do a real precise circle or something. Other than that, I'm using quills now. And,
Nice.
And brushes. And just the typical, I guess, what everybody uses, man. You get the crow quill or the deleter, and then I got a couple of other ones that I don't even know the names of that run. I got the G pins and a couple other different tips that I use for going back and adding more line weight than I can really make look natural with like the deleter or something like that, you know. And it was just I got like the Raphael brush, and that's about it. As far as ink, I'm using. Oh man, actually, Dan Fraga put me on to his whatever ink he uses. I guess I had like 5 different bottles of ink, and I couldn't figure out which one I liked the most. And then I had to water them all down. And then Dan hit me up and was like, "Man, I think he was watching one of the streams, and messaged me afterwards because I was talking about it. He was like, "Man, you gotta order this." So I ordered it, and it comes in a nice giant bottle, unlike the other stuff I was using. And you know, I'm looking at it right now, but the label's on the other side, so I can't remember what it's called. But it's great ink. He was absolutely right, and I'm glad he told me about that because it's definitely the best ink I've used so far.
I use this Vortex ink, which is awesome.
Yeah, I thought about getting that.
It's good because you don't have to water it down or anything.
You don't have to water it down or nothing.
You don't have to water it down. You just dip and go.
I saw it when I was ordering my Eon board. Isn't it on their site, right? It's on.
Yeah, if you go to the Eon product, it's right on there.
I saw it and I thought about it, and they have really good, products. So I imagined it was pretty good, but I just hadn't got around to ordering it yet. I'm gonna have to get some. I like to try. I'm trying a lot of different stuff out right now to see what I like the most.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll continue to do that. So I'm definitely going to get some of that. What is it called? Vortex, right?
Yeah, the Vortex ink.
They even have white now.
Yeah, it just came out with the white. But yeah, whoops.
Oh, definitely need to try their white out. Have you tried it?
I haven't tried it yet. I've ordered some, I'm going to order some. I haven't done it yet, but when I do,
how do you use your whiteout? Do you use a brush or a nib or what?
Right now, I've been using this stuff for a long time. Okay. The Pro White. It's almost kind of more like paint ink, but I'll use this with a brush because that can only work with a brush. I tried it with a nib and it won't take it all. But again, I was
Vortex stuff. You can use a nib.
Do you?
So
I have to water mine down.
They showed it might be on Instagram. He showed a video of inking with the white Vortex ink.
No kidding. Yeah, I definitely got to get some of that. Right now, I'm using Copic, the Copic brand white, and I have to water it down a lot in order to run it with a nib because I'll go back and do like negative cross hatching.
Yeah.
And I'll use a nib for that, but I got to water it down pretty good. But it does pretty good. If you add some water to it and stir it up real good, it does really good. It works.
I didn't know that Copic had a white ink. Be cool. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Copic makes their own whiteout, and what's the other whiteout I got? I got another one. I can't remember. Maybe it's Higgins or something. No.
I wind up using just like the jelly roll pens that come in different tip sizes.
I got a bunch of those too, but I don't like them as much as using the nib with the whiteout, especially doing like trying to go back and do cross.
Oh, why is that not showing up? Like that. This one, it's not going to show up because of the brightness of the screen. All right, this is a
Pentel.
This is the Uniball Signal. That's maybe the color, but this is a Uniball pen. I saw Mark Sylvester drawing with this one day on a YouTube video, like at a convention, and he was doing like inking and stuff. And I saw him specifically using this, so I went out and got this, and this works great for going over ink and the Copics.
No kidding.
After it dries for a second, like it's nice, bright, brilliant white. Where some of the whites turn gray when you're using pen. I hate that.
You know, I tried to study some of his what he was using before. I've seen him do a few drawing tutorials, and like the way he goes into it was, I mean, he just
That's what Tyler Kirkham
things
uses.
about that.
Posca.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah, and I ordered them thinking I was only getting one tip, and it came with 3 different. Like this is the thin one. There's a medium, and there's like a big fat one.
Oh, so that's like almost like a marker tip, right? Is that or does that have a? I can't tell. I can't see it real good.
That's kind of honestly. Let me pop this up.
Yeah, it's kind of
it's got a,
like,
and it's got the ball.
Oh yeah,
like a paint pen. It's just real hard, man. I mean, whiteout. I've probably have a bucket full of all the different brands and all the different kinds, and man, some of them really suck. Some of them are really good. It's just
you gotta try it out. You gotta
try it out.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody that's in the chat, I'm gonna go back here and get some of your questions because there's some good questions here. But really quick, Rob, you were talking about we brought up Silvestri, and I think I know where you're gonna go with it. You were talking about like watching him draw and stuff, and you had you were
trying
gonna
to figure out what he used because the way he goes in and just he's able to layer when he's inking. He's able to like layer his tones and his textures and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of pins is he using? Like, is he
so far as I know, Copic multiliners is what he uses.
It's almost like part of it. I watched him do a Batman one time, and I'm not sure if he was using like a gray. He was going back over his line work with like a Copic gray or something like that. But he might. And he's just layering it, but it wasn't solid black. Yeah, I've got a bunch of those.
Yeah, I love these. I mean, this is primarily what I use. I'm trying to get.
They're amazing.
I'm trying to get better at using a quill, and all that kind of stuff. But
too heavy-handed for Copics.
It was hard.
I break lots of tips. Yep.
It's hard getting away from the Copics. They're really user friendly.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But there were certain things I couldn't do. I'm trying to think of what it was that made me decide I wanted to go into using the quills, and I think it was going to the Superfan Con in Miami and seeing Frega's work up close, and then seeing Mark Morales's work up close, and looking at mine that I did with the Copics because I brought some of my work up there. In comparison to seeing how bold their inks were on theirs.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, this is shit, man. I can't even look at my own artwork the same anymore. Like, you can't really tell much when you're looking at a scan of it.
Right.
When it's posted on Twitter or something, you can't tell. But when you look at it for real, there's a big difference. Actually, another one was a buddy of mine, Matt, sent me an original page that Art T. Bear inked over David Finch. And when I got, that was actually the first thing. That was the first original piece of art that I ever owned and that I ever saw up close. And I was like, wow, this is beautiful. Like, it's not just the drawing that's beautiful, but it's the actual inks really just make it that much better. So at that point in time, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to stick with the Copics for much longer. I'm gonna have to, as uncomfortable as I am with a quill, I'm just gonna have to get better. So that's what I've been doing. And it's sometimes it's beautiful, sometimes it's pretty smooth, and then sometimes it's just like, fuck, I want to break them, But it's getting a lot easier now.
I mean, that's the best way to get better at it, is just to do it.
Yeah, I mean, my feet back in and out of pens, quills. It's really, I mean, like the book I draw, U.S. Assassin, the volume 2, like there are whole pages done with quill, and there are whole pages done with just like microns and.
What book are you drawing? You're drawing something now?
U.S. Assassin. It was yeah.
And when I found out you was going to be on the show, I wanted to go check out some of your work, so at least we'd have something to talk about. You know what I mean? Because it's hard for me to keep up with everything. I always get people confused, and I didn't see if you had like I didn't notice anybody had any open campaigns.
We were a freebie attached to Graveyard Ship Volume 2.
I saw that you drew on there, and I've seen a lot of your
I drew I drew 20 pages of the supplemental, and I apologize because I drew a very, very tiny panel that has Shinobi Sasquatch on it, and it just does you no justice. I'm sorry. But then
what was this? What was this for?
It's for the Graveyard Shift Volume 2. They had a supplemental book where they had 3 20-page stories. They did like a talent search or whatever.
Yeah.
But they didn't talent search me because I'm working with Mark already, and I've known those guys forever. So
I think Cal got in on that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
This is
that's my book.
Yep, that's the best one I could find at short notice.
Yeah.
Oh,
all my stuff's upstairs. Kids are upstairs, so I'm down in the basement, so I'm not near any of my stuff. But that's the first page of volume 3.
Yeah, you do some really amazing work, man.
Yeah, it's another book I'm waiting for it to ship to me.
Then I don't want to tell you that I just received this today.
Oh, so did I. Actually, yesterday. But yeah, yep.
He got that out quick, didn't he? He wasn't
he did.
around.
Mark is on
got that out quick.
Yeah,
Mark don't mess around.
Book.
We're gonna do a second chance campaign for U.S. Assassin Volume 1, and then I'm gonna fly out to Jersey, where Mark's at, and we're gonna sign them, and then we're gonna go right into Volume 2. So we're gonna make sure that they're butted up. Like I'm working on Volume 3 right now, and we're just making sure that we're as timely as possible. And I think that's, I've got the time. Mark's writing everything in the indie market right now.
I'm gonna cruise back. Go ahead.
Looking forward to what's the man? It's super throwback to like He-Man or Thundercats, but dude, was it Kev Hawk? You know what I'm talking about? The name
Kevin Sharp.
Yes.
Dragon Guard.
Okay,
Guard.
I couldn't remember the name, but I know what you're talking about. That does look cool. I thought it was He-Man at first when I first saw it.
Yeah,
it's got that vibe.
It has that feel. Absolutely,
takes you back to the '80s when you're a little kid.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Looks awesome.
Yeah.
Kevin is an amazing artist. I actually had him down to do a cover down the road for our book.
Yeah, he's got skills. I like the way he does his rendering. He keeps his lines really clean, very uniform.
He uses microns for that.
Oh, does he?
Like all those nice feathering lines. But I mean, he's what, like a 25-year pro or something like that. Like he knows how to make stuff work. But
right.
You watch him, like he does videos every once in a while. Like when I don't know if his campaign is still going, but if you threw in the chat your backer number, he would do like a sketch, small little sketch for you. Like a headshot or a butt shot.
Oh, no kidding.
And you just watch him do it, and it looks just like his page work. It just micron, just nice feathered line. Looks like it was done with a brush.
Some people are good with microns. I'm not so good with microns, or maybe
I never liked microns.
I don't like the color of the ink. It's
I thought it was kind of cool. It wasn't
tinge to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I agree with you. That's why I went to the Copics, because I thought the Copics looked so much better than the microns.
Copics are the best thing that you can do without using a nib, from what I can tell so far.
I would agree with that.
Their ink is nice and solid. It sits up on the page pretty well, and it's really dark. So
it dries fast too. You don't have to worry about smudging too much. And I love that, because there was a couple pens I was just fucking around with for a little while. I think they're maybe Faber-Castell pens, and I really liked them because they're really dark. But they smudged all the time. So if I was doing any kind of hashing when I'm dragging my hand, and because I have to set my hand on the board.
I do the same thing. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like crazy lines. So
you watch guys
get the graphite on your hand.
Yep.
You watch guys like Scott Williams sit there like this with their pad out here, and they're just like, drawing. I'm like, how the fuck do they do that?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I'd have that kind of control without resting my arm. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times I have to have like my forearm or my elbow on something, and I'm really on the board, like this or whatever, just to get the control I want.
Yeah. Well, those are the guys that probably draw with their shoulder, not with, like I draw with my wrist and probably my elbow, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed
That's probably what. I've heard that too, and I'm just like, I don't know how to draw any other way. That's how I taught myself how to draw. So it's like,
if you look at any of my pencils, like pages that I've done, I've posted that have more than one character, like multiple characters on there, you can always tell which character I drew first, because he's completely smudged off of the page by the time I'm done with it. It's good. You can tell in the darkest one's the one I did last, and as it goes, they just get lighter and lighter. So yeah, I lean all over that page.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna jump back here real quick and get some of these questions because there was cool ones. So Lord Christopher John says, "Are you confident about the consistency of the art in the book Shinobi Sasquatch? You have progressed so quickly over the year." And I think that's a great question because that was actually something I was wondering, because you can look at some of the old Shinobi stuff you posted, and you look at like the Black Flag cover that you did, and you can see the growth there. I mean, absolutely.
It's gonna be. I've talked about this before. Like, I'd say if you want to really see, like, you know how you see somebody, like a friend of yours that maybe loses weight, and you see him, you see him around Christmas time and he's big. You see him later on that following fall and he's lost 50 pounds. It's very dramatic. You know what I mean? You can hardly recognize him. But if you were actually hanging out with that person every day, you wouldn't really notice, So that's kind of what it's going to be like flipping through the book. If you're flipping through, because I'm doing it in page order, I'm not jumping around. Gotcha. It's going to be a gradual change. But if you were to flip from page 1 all the way to the back of the book, it would be very dramatic. You will see a difference in the style because I am advancing every day. Every page I do gets a little better than the last one. At least I think it does. So as long as you're reading it from page 1 to the back, it's not going to be that abrupt. But if you want to see a big difference, you flip to page 1 and then flip to the back, and you'll be like, "Holy shit!" Like, looks like 2 different artists.
Oh yeah, that's what my book is like. It's page 1 to the last page is completely different.
Well, plus you start to get in the groove, man. You get much more comfortable as you go. You get loose, you start loosening up. So the first pages, especially if you take any break before you start, I would think that you're going to be a little rusty starting off. I've thrown away a lot of the first pages. I started the first 3 pages 3 times.
Wow.
I did the first 3 pages, and then I threw them away, and then I did them again. Actually, I did page 1. I did page 1 again. I did page 1 3 times. Finally stuck with the 3rd try, and then just kept rolling after that.
Yep.
But it took me warming up like that. I drew about 4 or 5 pages that I wasn't happy with, and then I got to a point where I was happy. If you see the originals, I don't think they're on my feed anymore. I think I deleted them off of there, but they might be on Cal's. Or he might have copies of them or something if you want to really take a look at how it started off, because it's totally different. Yeah.
Pale Rider says drawing with your shoulder is harder the smaller you go. I would just say it's all hard to me when drawing, when you're drawing with anything but your wrist. Like, that's the only way I can get control. So
I don't think I draw with my shoulder at all. I usually pivot off my elbow and wrist.
Yeah.
I have to have my elbow planted for sure.
All about the books, I definitely agree. Definitely agree there. All right, cruising back here. Let's get another question. Where was I at? So JoJo says, "Where can I see both of your works?" Meaning Mike and Rob. Why don't you guys plug yourselves real quick so anybody new? Because JoJo comes from. I was in a metal band for years, so she was one of my fans / friends who would come out to the show. So she's checking out the stream, and so I'm introducing her to a new world, I guess, so to speak. So she's all new to this when it comes to this stuff, and she's really interested in it. So definitely plug yourself.
What a world to be introduced into. Yeah, comics are awesome.
Right?
Yeah, especially if you're an artist.
Yeah.
Well, you can go on Indiegogo and look up Shinobi Sasquatch for the book I'm working on now, or you can go on Twitter and follow me at Who Is Rob Willis, or follow Cal Jameson. I can't remember what his handle is exactly. He changed it a few times. But you can follow either of us, and it's going to be my pinned tweet. So as soon as you go onto my feed, it's going to be the first tweet you see. You can click on the link there, and you can go. And there's about well, you scrolled through already. There's about 5 pages of sample work on there of what the book will look like, and a couple little pieces of like promo art. But yeah, Indiegogo, Shinobi Sasquatch Book 1.
There you go. Mike?
Just like it says underneath my fat chin, Mike McMahon 74 on Twitter. Sorry. I had this whole intro thing ready, like how you and Sean do, and I was gonna be like, "Your favorite fat guy, Mike."
Oh, you could have told me, man. We would have done it.
No, that's all right.
I
don't need to embarrass myself anymore. But yeah, Mike McMahon 74 on that page is on my profile page. There's the link to my YouTube channel, and then I am constantly posting and reposting the sign up page for the Second Chance campaign, Assassin Volume 1. Which should be coming. We're waiting for fulfillment of Graveyard Shift Volume 2, so everyone gets their free copies because it was a stretch goal. And then we're going to do a Second Chance campaign. We have about 300 copies. And then as soon as that's done, we're going to open up the campaign probably in the fall for Volume 2 because it's already done. Well, not color-wise, but on my end, it's done. Yeah, so that's where you can find me.
You are both hardworking men. I wish I could do the amount of stuff you do. Elliot Rodriguez Art says, "What did you think of the crow quills that you ordered? I saw that you picked some up a while back." And going along with that, Pale Rider says, "What nib do you use mostly?"
Well, it's funny. Yeah, the crow quill, really. Well, between the deleter and the crow quill, because I mean they're about the same, but the deleter is more durable.
Yep.
It won't break on you as fast, but it has a lot less flexibility in it. It's almost like drawn with a micron or a Copic or something like that. But with the deleter or the crow quill, you can get really fine lines, or you can add some thickness to it by adding a little more pressure. But I found that the crow quill, the flexibility in it allows you to add line weight and with a smoother flow to it. You know, you can press just a little harder and it lays that tip down a little more, and you can adjust your the thickness of your lines and stuff. So I think I like the crow quill more.
The 102?
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe so. Yeah.
I was going to say,
yep.
This is what I use. I haven't used these yet, obviously, but this is the Speedball 102 was what was recommended to me.
You can get a box of them on Amazon for like $13.
The G pens are really good too. The G pens are good.
Yep.
They don't go as fine as I'd like them to, so they're not like a if you want like a one size fits all, yeah, I'd say the deleter or the crow quill. But if you want your lines to be, if you're not going real fine line, and I've heard somebody say they're really really common in drawing manga or manga or however you want to say it.
Manga, whatever.
Yeah, because the lines, you can get a little bit of a bolder line, it seems like, but you can't go real fine. And I like to add a lot of details, like especially in my characters' faces.
Yep.
Yeah. Noticed.
So I like to be able to go fine when I want to add the little wrinkles around the eyes and things like that. So yeah, the leader or the crow quill, they're almost the same. So that'd probably be my most frequent.
All about the books. I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit ago. But he says, "Rob, can you give me a list of books you're working on? I've already backed Shinobi Sasquatch, Black Flag, and waiting on Replicas 3. If there's anything else you're working on that you can announce or can talk about."
No, I can't. There's some things coming. But right now it's just Shinobi Sasquatch is the only book that I got coming out, and I mean, you'll see other work of mine. Like I'm doing a lot of different covers and things like that.
High demand right now for a cover guy. That's for sure. I haven't seen you popping up all over the place.
I think I started shutting my own work down though, because I told anybody hits me up for work now. It's if you want something, it's gonna be like almost like a 6-month wait, you know. So because I can't get right to it. I got so many other things to get done right now. So when people hear that, they're like, yeah, I don't think I think Tug hit me up, and I told him what the weight was, and I don't think I heard anything back from him. I think that was it. And then another guy hit me up. This was after the last time I streamed. Maybe on Dan's show or somebody's show. And I told him, I was like, I try to look out for everybody if I can. I try to get to you if I can, but I can't keep putting my book on the side, because people are going to eventually get pissed off at me. When the book is like really late, which it's already going to be late. It's already late because I kind of bit off more than I could chew. I told Cal, I said, man, as much as I like that we added all these pages, man, I regret it because it's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. But I'm happy to do it. It's not that I'm bitter about it or anything like that. It's just It's just taking a lot longer. And now,
just worried about the fans.
Exactly. We got to go back and tell everybody, hey, I know we said this, but now, it's going to be this. And, I don't want anybody to, get upset or think,
well, you guys keep in contact with fans
to getting the book out as fast as possible.
So it's not like you went off and, did a Walmart deal and, made everybody wait 2 years.
I think if it's the first campaign that you're involved in, and I think people, for the most part, because doing your first campaign is a learning experience for everybody, myself included. I'm still learning before I even do it. I'm not even doing mine until next summer. So I think most people understand that you're going to stub your toe a little bit with your first campaign, and the book might be a little bit late. And I think to me that's completely fine, because you're going to still get a really great product once you get it. No matter what, you're going to get it at some point.
Really good product, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be good.
Yeah, so I think you'll be fine there. I don't think anybody's going to be too pissed at you.
I'm hoping they're forgiving. I'm hoping, because I got another book coming right after it. And I hope it's, nobody has like a sour taste in their mouth, because I don't know if I want to back.
As long as you keep transparent with the fans, they're going to be forgiving. It's keeping them in the dark.
Once it gets fulfilled, I'm going to do a couple streams explaining, the process of everything. And, we'll talk about the book and things I've learned doing the book for anybody who's interested in what to expect doing their first book. And it'll hopefully give everybody a clear picture of what I've been doing and my state of mind and what I've learned and what will change for the next book, what people can expect.
Yeah.
Definitely, I'm not going to be doing any more 85-page books.
I don't think it's a lot of work, man.
It is.
Yeah, I'd rather be able to get 2 or 3 books out a year than a book out a year, or even a little over a year, and with quality though. I'm thinking I'm going to be going my next book will probably be like 48 pages, if that, maybe between 35 and 48 pages. It's going to have a really long, the story arc is extremely long. There's a lot going on with that book, so it's going to be an ongoing series, and I think I'm going to go with like 30 to 35 pages and just break them down like that. Put out 2 or 3 books a year.
Yeah, that's kind of my goal too. Like my first book, because the way I started setting up my book was like a traditional comic, because I didn't know too much about crowdfunding at the time. I was just gonna start a book because I wanted to, and then now I see all these crowdfunding campaigns and people are doing like these ginormous books, and I'm like, fuck, when I go to do my book, my first book is going to be like 28 to 30 pages, and that's because I increased it just to be more than 22. Second book's going to be 32, 36 pages, so I'm making that a little bit bigger, but I think that's going to be like the limit. It's like the mid 30s. And I don't think I could push myself any farther than that, with as busy as I am just in general in life,
I would go with 22 pages on the book, but because of the whole process of the funding and everything, you know what I mean? I'd feel guilty about charging that kind of price for a 22-page book, but you almost have to charge that price for it to be worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To fund your own book. I mean, the shit's expensive.
Yeah.
So you don't get as much money as all that money on that campaign. You're not getting a lot of that. You know what I mean? You see these big campaigns making all this money. Now I'm not talking about Ethan. He's making a lot of money.
That's
He's giving a lot back, and I'm sure he's spending a
level.
lot of money, but he's definitely not hurting once it's all said and done.
Yeah.
But if you're making 50, 60, 70, 80, something like that, and you see these campaigns, you're like, oh shit, these guys are making 80 grand. No, it's not like that.
Right.
You're not making that kind of money. There's a lot that goes into shipping, to printing, and
Indiegogo takes their
taxes
cut.
you got to pay. Indiegogo takes cut. You got to pay your you got to pay your colorist. I mean, if you want to do it all yourself, that's one thing. You're going to work yourself to death, but you'll make all the money. But you can hire your colorist and your letterer, things like that. All these people, money keeps coming out, and you get, if you're lucky, you got enough to eat, and hopefully pay a couple of your bills.
It's awesome about the campaigns. I mean, even if you're just doing a 22-page or a 24-page book, even if you're asking $20 to $25 for the book, you're still going to get a ton of extra stuff, stretch goals, or you're going to get 100 people thrown in there. So you get quality for the $20 you spend, no matter what, which is awesome about the campaigns.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it gives you, if you go with like a 22-page book, and add on some stretch goals like that, that's cool. Yeah, definitely. We started off with a 48-page book, and then started adding pages on stretch goals and stuff. We should have started lower with like a 25-page book, because you guys would be getting your books here really soon if that were the case. But we didn't. We were thinking really big. Well, we wanted to give everybody. We jumped in very enthusiastically. How are we going to get people's eyes on this book? Nobody knows who we are. Nobody knows anything about us, and nobody knows anything about this character. Anything. How are we going to grab people's attention? We're like, well, we'll do this and we'll do that, and we'll, encourage people to back with this stretch goal and that stretch goal, and we'll be lucky if we get there. And, and I never thought I'd be doing a 85 page book. I thought we were going to stop short of that last stretch goal. I didn't think we'd get funded to that point, but we have. We were really fortunate. We did really good, especially for our first book, almost 75K, or a little over 75K now, right? So
it was 75. Let me see where was that. I looked at.
And I haven't posted any Shinobi Sasquatch art lately, so I think we'll do okay, because every time I post work, we always get more backers.
Yeah.
So
that's some of the best advertising right there. Is just drop something new for once in a while.
Well, 75,000. Because some people got all bitter last time Cal said something about we didn't do most of our advertising on YouTube. Most of it was from posting artwork. And some of the cool people that helped us out and put us on their shows, or just talked about the book when we weren't on the show, one or two of them, I think they got butthurt. What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? We talked about your book was talked about, and even if you weren't on the show and you came on the show and you gathered all this revenue from these shows and everything, and they're right. I mean, they are right, but I think what the point Cal was getting at is we weren't doing a lot of shows. Though a lot of people probably knew about it, that wasn't how we were advertising. We were mainly advertising by Twitter or Instagram or something like that,
man.
posting the artwork.
For just doing the social media advertisement to get almost $80,000 is pretty damn good. Because a lot of these guys, they use their YouTube platforms, but they have.
Like I said, we can't say that was it though, because Ethan had us on a few times.
That's true.
John Malin had us on, and I'm gonna let you know right now, my tablet's on 1%.
Oh shit!
Sometimes, but sometimes it'll coast out for a little while. When it's on 1%. So if I just blip out, that's why.
Okay.
But
Thanos got you.
But those guys and a couple other people had us on. Whose platforms weren't as big as Ethan's or John's.
Right.
Had us on too, but people still saw the book tuning into that show, and we got a few backers pretty much from every show we did. And then everybody always would talk about the book in the beginning when they would have their shows, and Shinobi Sasquatch was just getting eyes on it. So yeah, we did get a lot of our backers from YouTube, but it wasn't from necessarily from our efforts.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, having people talk about that book on the big platforms will definitely help. And All About the Book says he discovered you on EBS's art auction, which I've seen that before. I mean, that's a good place to get some stuff out because he's got a gigantic platform.
Man, Ethan don't invite me on no more for some reason. I don't know if he just I don't know what's going on. He don't, and honestly though, and I like Ethan a lot. I'm not talking shit or anything like that. I just don't get invited on to auction any art anymore. But but honestly, I do better selling it myself sometimes. But it's really cool to see people bid on your work. So it's really exciting to see what people think. But I saw during this pandemic he had an auction, and I don't know if it's because people are living off their their stimulus checks or what. The pieces weren't selling. Some of the stuff because Dan was selling a lot of work. Frege was, and I was watching the auctions and seeing what he was accepting. What people were bidding on some of his work, and I was just like, "Holy shit! Like that's definitely worth more than that." You know what I mean? Like he could have definitely got more than that, but it's still really cool. And I know Dan doesn't mind because I do draws like that. He can.
He seems like cool dude.
Work out.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing.
Yeah, he's fantastic artist.
I expected some of his work to go for a little bit more than what they were getting on that auction.
I think Ethan said he's doing another one July 15th, which the only reason I know that is because it's my birthday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might maybe I'll reach out to him. And
need to hit him up. It's grassroots, man.
I'll see if the economy's open. Well, I've got people that buy my work. I never have, I auction it like this. I'm like, well, I don't really auction it. I just announce it on Twitter. I'm like, I do pretty good when I'm done with something like this Monster MD cover and Shinobi Sasquatch. When I'm done, I'll probably announce that it's for sale on Twitter. And normally, somebody will hit me up within a day and buy it. So, but it's still cool to go on those auctions and see, what people think of your work.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely shows you like how much you've connected with people that you're that in demand. And obviously, you're in demand because people are hitting you up for covers. And I mean, like I said, dude, I don't think I've seen an artist lately that has come out of nowhere and had such an impact like you have. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on the show. Because I mean, you literally, one day I saw you on Instagram, and then all of a sudden I saw you everywhere. Yeah, really? It was just like, I was like, who the fuck is Rob Willis? And I started checking out your work, and I'm like, holy shit, like this guy is fucking awesome. Like it's everything I love in comics,
man.
Especially to come out of nowhere, but be that good from the get go.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
no kidding.
That's
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know. I don't know if anybody's seeing my work. So when I hear that, it's really cool. I mean, I've got some followers now. I've got a little over 4,000, and I know that's not much compared to some of those guys, but like that's pretty cool. Like to see that many people wanted to follow me because of my artwork. I lose about as many as I get though. Like I lose a lot of followers, man. Like if I don't post work for like a week or something like that, I'll lose easily like 30 followers. Yeah. Like they'll just and it kind of it's weird. To me. I'm like, are they like fuck this dude? He's not fucking putting out any work. I'm gonna unfollow him. Like who does that? You know what I mean? I'm like, what is really happening here?
It's so weird.
Are they just going back and unfollowing me because like sometimes I say things. I think I've lost 100 followers over the last like 2 weeks, or maybe roughly about 100.
Wow.
Because watching the news and then fucking scrolling through toxic ass Twitter and responding to to shit that honestly I shouldn't even be responding to, but I'm just like,
I get caught doing that too,
dude.
Yeah, so
hard.
I do that all the
a lot of
time.
people, I think some people like they see they don't agree with me, so they unfollow me. I don't do that. If I don't agree with somebody, I'm not gonna unfollow them if I already follow them. I just either ignore that shit or.
Dude, half the people I see that I follow, and probably more than half the people I see that I follow on social media, I disagree with on a lot of things. But I still follow them because I'm following them for their work, not for their opinions on stuff, you know. But
I've had
I'll do the
people
same
that
thing
follow
too.
me
Like,
tell me to shut the fuck up, you know, and I just laugh.
oh, I know,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
They don't like. They'd be like, "Please shut the fuck up,"
dude,
and I'm like, "Fuck you."
I get friend requests on Facebook like fucking 10 a day. Like I've got a list like fucking I don't even accept anymore because there were too many times where I just accept somebody and then because I used to put up, you know, my religious views and my political views, nothing that I thought was too controversial, but just opinions. And the person that I accepted as a friend request like the day before is the first one that jumps on there and starts attacking me. I'm like, dude, who the fuck are you? I don't even know you.
Fuck them.
Yep.
You know, friends
quick,
come
like,
cheap on Facebook, man. That's why I like Twitter. It seems a little harder to get followers on Twitter. It seems like anybody will follow you on Facebook, and it's really hard for me to get them on Instagram. So if I get a big Instagram following, I'll feel like I did something. But I don't really try to either. Though. Facebook is like people just follow people to follow people. They don't even care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, this dude, you know, let me go through and follow everybody.
It's always somebody wants to send you a friend request, and then as soon as you accept, they're like, "Hey, buy my stuff," or "Here's my fan page," or they spam the hell out of you, and I'm just like, "Oh, delete."
The only thing I miss about Facebook is how wide open it is. Like, especially like the meme groups. The memes on Facebook are the best. They're so lowbrow. You know what I mean? Like, they're just they don't care, man. On Facebook, you can get away with anything.
That's true.
I'm really big into dark humor. And I'm very cynical. So the stuff on Facebook is cool, but I don't go on there anymore. I think Twitter's kind of like my place right now.
That's kind of where I do most of my stuff is on Twitter. But you know, I decided a while back that I was keeping a lot of stuff for myself because the world is too fucking sensitive nowadays. And I came from a school of thought. I was a frontman to a band, so I was always on stage saying whatever the fuck I wanted to say, giving my opinions out there. I was like, you know, fucking Phil Anselmo, just splurting out at the mouth. And I had to really pull that back when I'm doing the comic book field because it's a little bit different, you know, like. And I don't want to argue with people all the time. I really don't.
You know, all that sensitivity shit eventually, and the PC shit's going to backfire, and it's going to be.
I hope so. Yeah.
It's going to be people standing up and being like, "Fuck you and your feelings," that are getting cheered on one of these days because it's getting so. It's just so fucking crazy, man. How people will try to silence somebody for an opinion that's unpopular. You know what I mean? And everybody's biting everybody. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's canceling everybody. Eventually, they're going to cancel themselves out because it's going to come a time they're going to get so fucking woke that you're not going to be able to say anything. And then somebody's going to say something. Even they could be super woke, but there's going to be one motherfucker that's even more woke, and he's going to turn around and be like,
"They're going to eat each other." Yeah, they already are eating each other if you kind of pay attention to some of the news.
Big time. Big time.
And that,
Jimmy Kimmel.
That happened to me this week.
Yeah.
This week, I tend to lean left.
Yeah.
I'm kind of more in the
middle. I'm out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of more in the middle. I agree on some stuff on both sides. But I have always been very out about voting Democrat. I didn't vote Democrat last time because I didn't believe in the candidate at all.
Yeah.
But I posted something that was questioning that AOC chick, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And all my fellow Democrats came out and dogpiled me. And basically
That's how they do it, man.
It was bend the knee. And I'm like, I even posted it on Twitter. I was like, how do you get somebody who's been a lifelong Democrat become an independent? Tell them to bend the knee. And I'm just like, you guys.
I was a Democrat a while ago. Like, I would have considered. I mean, I'm not Democrat, Republican, or anything, but I definitely have more nowadays. I have more conservative views than I used to. and mainly because how batshit crazy everybody
Mm.
is. They're just
Yep.
out of their
Everybody.
fucking minds, nonsense, just nonsense, dude. Like,
Fucked up.
and they speak it like it's gospel. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, just like the craziest nonsense, like it's factual, and I'm just like, what is going on here? Like, do these people really believe this, or is it just that they don't give a fuck anymore?
They're nuts.
You know what I mean?
They're nuts.
Yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
just fucked up in the brain. Like, I'm an independent now. I was raised a Republican, but like I had to leave parties because I was sick and tired of everything that was political. Because you can just sit
Yeah.
back and you can watch anything that's political and you can just see the untruths
Yep.
in everything. So like
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
vote for who I want to vote. I support who I want to support. It's my stuff. I hate the people that lean too far right. I hate the people that lean too far
Yeah.
left. I'm all about the people that are in the center and work together because that's why I think the majority of the country is all more kind of centered, whether you're Democrat, Republican, independent. It's just the loud
most
motherfuckers.
level-headed people should be
Yeah.
centered. I mean, that means you're balanced. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see a little bit this way and a little bit that way. Yeah, the super far right is crazy. Super far left is just out of their goddamn minds nowadays.
Yeah.
Though I think they're taking the cake right now. The radical left is kind of really taking the cake on just pushing it that extra.
Yeah, if you're a radical in anything, I think you're out of your goddamn mind. I mean, just that's just come back to earth a little bit.
Well, they're deeper now, man. They're like full flat. Like they've got a lot more super far lefts than there are super far rights anymore.
Yeah.
It's like the super far rights have been silenced. You know what I mean? They've been shut down.
Canceled,
Yeah, and then the super
stupid.
radical left is like gaining, it's like a fucking snowball rolling down a hill. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like whoever's in power. If the Democrat's the president, you hear the super right is like really loud. Republicans the president, the super crazy left is really wild. And it just kind of goes back and forth. It's that fucking game that is played. The political game. And we're all just pawns in the middle and getting sucked into the social media and the media. And that's why I try to stay off a lot of stuff, except for art. I mean, if I wasn't for art and connecting with people, I would be off of social media.
Yeah,
in a heartbeat.
Well, the crazy thing is even the people that are they seem a little off the wall on Twitter because it's like they're speaking behind a fake avatar or something, like a picture of their dog or some shit, and they're just running their mouth. But if you had an actual conversation with this person one on one, they probably wouldn't sound as crazy. At least I like to believe that. I like to believe people are still pretty sane for the most part. But being on Twitter just allows people to just say the craziest shit without consequence. You know what I mean? And you don't know what kind of day these people are having. They might have something personal going on that affects their opinion and things like that. So there's no real logical conversations going on there.
And that's absolutely how it is in the real world. I talk to people all the time. And we have different opinions, and we can have mature, normal conversations, and we still are friends afterwards. We don't hate each other or anything, And that's like that.
Call it.
For some reason, the last 4 years just turned everybody crazy.
Yeah,
and I'll agree with Adam Bishop. The best part of Facebook is the Wildstorm Universe group. If you guys aren't right, that's an awesome group. I love that group.
Yep.
On Facebook. The Wildstorm. It's basically celebrating, the Wildstorm. Jim Lee's Wildstorm of Image.
Yeah.
And good guys on that.
I miss out on all that now. There were some cool groups on Facebook. Yeah, that's another thing. But I just can't. I can't go. It's like going back to the hood or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like you got out the hood and then going back to the. You can visit every now and then. What I'm saying? But you don't want to live there anymore.
Yeah, no, I got you.
And more for like my family stuff. Twitter's for business.
Family, yeah. Well, that too. It's like, yeah. All my Facebook followers.
Nope. Well, Rob did say that he was. Yeah. Oh, Thanos got him. Son of a bitch. He did say that his battery is running low, so we'll see if he gets plugged back in and jumps back on. So we'll stick around for a little bit. But all about the books. I don't know if you meant to say Joe, but a Pantera fan, I am. I saw him one time in 2001, which was, I think, second to the last tour that they did until they were done playing. and they still fucking kicked ass. I mean, that's in my opinion still the best metal group in history from my era that I grew up. I always got to put it out there because people have their own opinions about it, but I still think Pantera, that's my number one, always.
Yeah, I'm actually working on designing a tattoo for a buddy at work. My day job. He's a huge. I showed him the video of your band and he loved it. But he's a huge Dimebag fan, huge Pantera fan. He actually has Dimebag tattooed across his collar area.
Nice.
And he wants to change that a little bit because it's just kind of like block lettering. And so he was kind of going through the songs. And I was like, "You're missing out, man. You're missing out." And then he's like, "Missing out on what?" And I was like, "Dude, draw like cemetery gates opening, because that's one of their songs, Cemetery Gates. Yeah. It's on your chest, so it's going to concave, the way the gates are going to arc, are going to go with your chest, have it opening, have the silhouette of Dimebag, thing that's colored in is his beard, and then have like tombstones and stuff in the background with like kind of like fog rolling in." He's like, "Dude, that's so cool. You should draw that." And I'm like, "Son of a bitch."
What up, LA? See you here, brother. I saw them at a battle in the the Gargantuan in Seattle, Pantera and White Zombie. Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That was I never got to see that tour. Awesome. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube from that tour. Best arena shows of Iron Maiden. I mean, you can't argue with that. I mean, like I said, classic metal bands are always gonna be classic metal bands. Yeah. But I grew up, I was a teenager in the 90s, and that's when Pantera was just kicking the shit out of everybody in the 90s, and that's what I grew up on, and they still hold a special. COC, Down, absolutely. I mean, those are classic bands. I saw Down one time. Still haven't seen COC, Corrosion of Conformity yet. But ever since Pepper went back, I'd love to go check them out again sometime.
Yeah. I don't go out and see bands much anymore.
Oh, I don't have the time. I don't have the time. I don't have the money.
I don't have the money.
Job. I have a family. I'm doing a full-time book. It's like I barely have enough time to sleep.
I got plenty of time to do it.
Man, I wish I had more time to sleep. I'll tell you. I need to sleep. So anybody that's just joining us, we had Rob Willis on here. He said his battery was running low on his iPad. So we're going to wait around a little bit. He just dropped off not too long ago, which we anticipated was probably going to happen. So if he can jump back on, we will continue the show. If not, we'll end the show at some point, and we'll have him back on because I was having a hell of a good time just having some conversations with the dude.
Yeah.
Talented. Oh, my God. Inspirational. I mean, Mike, you were talking about this with Sean last week when we ended the stream. And, he's one of those guys you just see the work and then you want to instantly go to your table and start working because it is that inspiring.
It's a battle, though. There's part of you that is inspired and wants to draw, and then there's part of you that just wants to quit because you'll never be that good. But he's awesome. He's just that amazing of an artist. I think, like they always say, your first Indiegogo campaign is going to do so much, but your second one's going to do even better. And I think once everyone sees Shinobi Sasquatch has it in their hands, it's going to blow up. I think it's going to easily do 6 figures, young lady, or however they say it.
Yeah, I think it's young lady or something like that. Yep.
Yeah, but I think Rob is he's gonna be on a rocket ship as soon as people start seeing that book, because he's too good to not be bigger. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Every time I see him draw something, I'm just like, how? The patience. He has to have an immense amount of patience, because I know for me personally, my brain works in such a way that I'd want to get it out as fast as possible, but I want to get it out with, I guess, my level of quality. I would not have the patience to draw like he does, because it is so meticulous and there's so much detail and there's so much. I mean, it's just, I don't know. He's the Frazetta of the industry, of the indie scene right now, I think.
And that's what I like, because I'm all about I'm all about detail. I like putting detail in my work. I mean, to the point where I got to pull myself away from the board because it's just I'll go too crazy if I don't control myself. Adam, yeah, Gojira is the shit. I love Gojira. Haven't seen him live, but that's a badass band. Elliot, Rob just dropped out, I'd say about 5 minutes ago, and I just actually got a message from him saying that he's not going to be able to make it back on. So we will definitely have Rob back on. We talked about this before we went live because we knew it was going to be a possibility that he might not be able to make it. And, I mean, we went an hour talking to him, so, I mean, it was a hell of a good interview. So, but we'll get him back on. We'll get him back on sometime soon because that was fun. I'd like to talk to him more. I was surprised to find out he wasn't professional. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
The time I saw Rob's art, I thought he was a professional, and I had no idea who the hell he was. And then I didn't even know he was that new to drawing comics until I saw him on maybe it was a Dan Fraga show. It might have been on one of his shows. He came on and he was talking, or somebody's stream. I saw an interview, and he was like, "Yeah, I haven't even been drawing all that long as far as comics go." And I was like, "That motherfucker!
I hate you."
I was like, "You son of a bitch!"
Always the people that start up like a year before they break out or whatever, and you're just like, "I've been drawing my whole life."
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I did misunderstand that. Shit, I heard about Rob last summer, so that's when I discovered him. I don't know if he was still, or if he was doing things before that, because Shinobi Sasquatch is his first work. So whenever he started releasing art for that project is probably when he started blowing up. Because, I mean, how can you not when you see that art?
I think the campaign launched in June of last year. I think it was on the page.
Was it June? Okay.
On the Indiegogo, I think it says when it launched or when it ended or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's a good point. I could look real quick. Oh yeah, June 1st, 2019. So probably, yeah. So probably since June. So less than, I mean, right around a year that this has been going on. I mean, this dude has just come onto the scene and completely taken it over. Okay, yeah, there you go. About a year or so. Yep, absolutely. Hey, what's up, Tomic? Thanks for checking us out. I don't know if you saw the stream before, but we had Rob on. He dropped out because he lost power, but we will have him back. And I just want to say thank you to everybody for checking out the show. I'm coming on with all your questions. It's been great. I love interacting with everybody, and I hope that I got as many people's questions on here as possible. And just, it's always fun to have you guys be a part of the show with us. You know, that's one thing I loved about the streaming, especially streaming on Facebook and getting all the YouTube, getting all the Facebook questions. It's been great. Well, shit, that would explain it if he was a tattoo artist. That was another thing. We were going to talk to Rob about how he got into things, and we just started on different conversations, which is fine, and took us in a different direction. But I'd love to have him back on, just kind of talk about his origin story and see how he got inspired to do
a part 2 when Sean comes back.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do a part 2 when Sean gets back, because I know Sean really wanted to talk to him. Yeah. He must have been honing his skills like Stealth Ninja for a while before coming out last year. Yeah, he definitely was. I was actually surprised to hear that he was like a life artist or whatever. They would do a lot of like portraits and stuff, because that will really. I can't do any of that shit. No, I can draw comic book style fantasy. That's it. I can't do anything.
Yep. Cartooning. That's it.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Yep, cartooning and Atomic Art. And I always got to plug this guy because this dude is 15 years old. Hell of an artist. He's improving every single day. Check him out on his Instagram page at Atomic Art. I really enjoy watching and seeing his progress on a daily basis. So, anyway, I'm going to end the stream there. And, hell yeah. Horns. The metal of the art and stuff show. So, real quick, much love to my co-host, Sean Ahrendt, who can't be here.
Yep.
I love that dude. He's an awesome man. And he's going to be taking a little bit of a hiatus. So, until then, if Mike is ever available and he can jump on with me to do co-hosting duties, we'll definitely have him on. Otherwise, I might roll solo if I have to. Thanks, Elliot. Thanks for checking out. I appreciate it. Thanks for everything on the Twitter follows and all that kind of stuff. I see you on there quite a bit. So yeah, love you, Sean. I know you're gonna watch this at some point.
Love you, buddy.
So love you and miss you. And
not as entertaining as you are, but I tried my best.
Well, the next time we have Mike on as co-host, we're gonna go over your little intro there, which I want to hear it. So next time we're gonna have that going. So all right, actually, before we get out of here, I know we said it earlier, Mike, but go ahead and plug where we can find you, where we can find your art, social media, all that stuff.
Twitter, I am Mike McMahon 74. There's a link to my YouTube channel on that in my profile. If you go to Indiegogo and look up U.S. Assassin, there is a sign-up page for when we launch the campaign, which should be very, very soon. We're just waiting for Graveyard Shift Volume 2 to finish fulfilling, because the campaign you'll be signing up for is a second chance campaign of the block of issues we have left, because it was a stretch goal for Graveyard Shift 2. So when that's all done, we'll do that. And then as soon as those books go out the door, we're going to start the campaign for Volume 2 of U.S. Assassin, because all the art is done, and I'm on to Volume 3.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Looking forward to that. And I'm still waiting on my book. I'm gonna have to contact John at one point. Where you can track your packages. So I've been tracking my Graveyard Shift 2 package, and I live in Michigan, and John lives up north in Michigan.
Yeah.
And for some odd reason, my package is in Pittsburgh. I don't know why it went to Pittsburgh when I'm like literally 3 hours away from that dude. So
I've ordered stuff. Like, we have a Dick Blick outlet that's like 45-minute drive from my house.
yeah.
And it went all the way to another state and then came back. It took like 7 days. I'm like, I could have drove there and got the stuff. It's ridiculous how it works.
One of these days, I will feast my hands on U.S. Assassin. So I'm excited to see that. So you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Joe M. Sonntag at YouTube. Check that out. Please give me a sub and a like and a share, because that really helps this show. Sean Ahrendt on YouTube. Check his channel out, because we broadcast on his channel, my channel, both our Facebooks. Just Google Joe M. Sonntag. You're gonna find me on most social medias and everything. So,
and you're gonna find some kick-ass art too.
I appreciate it. Same thing with Mike. We have nothing but the best. Nothing but the best on this show.
The cream de la creme.
All right, everybody. Enjoy your Friday night. Be good to people out there. Let's make the world a better place. All right?
Burn some lead.
Burn some lead. There you go. All right, everybody. Peace.
See you.